Hi, everyone, and welcome to ECOP Conversations. Today, I'm so excited and very grateful to be joined by Jose. So, Jose and I met very briefly recently at the UN Ocean Conference in Nice. And Jose has very kindly agreed to join us on this call today to tell us more about his work in ocean literacy in Ecuador. So I will hand it over to you, Jose. Please, can you introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your background and how you ended up in the Beyond Borders Pavilion in our ocean literacy event in during the UN Ocean Conference, please.
Thank you, Natalie, for the kind words and for inviting me. I am from Loja, Ecuador, from specifically from the south of my country. I live in the highlands. It's very far from the ocean, and it's a small town, but it's a very beautiful city. It's surrounded by this incredible biodiversity. And my connection with the ocean began very early as a child. And I think like every person that wanted to be a biologist or a marine biologist when they grow up, I think it started in childhood. And for me, I when I traveled with my family to the coast, and I went to explore the beautiful beaches in my country. We have this amazing coast. It's very beautiful. But my first experience, what sparked my love to the for the ocean was a trip to the Galapagos Island when I was 11. It was really beautiful. I don't know if you heard about these islands. They're very famous around the world. And it was my very first interaction with marine fauna, with sea turtles, with sharks, and with all of that. And yeah, this was my first connection with nature, and also my hometown is like I said, is it's very small, but surrounded by ecosystems and this very amazing biodiversity. So that's why I decided to be a biologist. And why I went to the UN Ocean Conference, it was because I'm part of a program called Generation17. That is a program with a partnership between Samsung, the technological company, and the United Nations Development Program. And it's a program that awards young people that work towards the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And I'm part of the cohort 5, and I entered the program this year. And they said that they invited me to join this year the UNOC 3, and it was great because as you know, it's an event that connects ocean lovers and scientists and entrepreneurs and people that work in the climate space from all over the world. And for me, it was my first event of the of UNOC, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah, and also I went to the UNESCO event to talk about Academia del Océano. That is my project that I work in my country, and also why I'm part of this program called Generation17.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Jose, for giving us that background. Did you have an idea that you could be a biologist and you could work in this kind of world? Like, how did you start to formulate that this is what you wanted to be when you grew up? Did you have many role models or?
Yes, kind of, because I always watch like these documentaries and these programs in National Geographic and all of that. I always very passionate about that. And also, like I said, my hometown surrounded by nature. Even when you go like outside of the perimeter urban area, we have this very famous national park. So I always have this connection with nature, yeah, and the connection with water and ecosystems inspired me to become a biologist.
Amazing. And so tell us more about the Academia de Océano. How did this start?
Ocean Academy.
Ocean Academy. How did this start? And
First of all, I work with ocean education, with ocean literacy, and I started this journey to make ocean literacy accessible because that's like this huge barrier that I wanted to tackle, if I could say that, especially to young people in my country and in Latin America. And for me, ocean literacy it's more than knowing facts about the ocean, about marine life. We need to understand more deep how the daily connectivity that we have with marine ecosystems, even for those who live far from the coast. Because sometimes people that live on inland communities or in the highlands like me, we need to kind of we don't understand the role that the ocean has in our lives, and also the huge barriers is access. And this gap, the accessibility, it's what inspired me to co-found the Academia del Océano, Ocean Academy in English. And it's the first ocean education in my country. And our mission is very simple, is to democratize this access to marine sciences and sustainability, and to empower this new generation or the present generation of marine leaders in my country and across Latin America. But we focus on young people, especially from historically underrepresented communities, because it's important to work on these low income communities, or even with young people that don't have the access to high quality educational resources. And also something important is that we see the effects of climate change and ocean pollution. It is widespread, right? We see that every day on the news, and the world. It's we see the news every day, and how it's this impact in every ecosystem in the world. And growing up, and even now, most of these resources to act and understand these issues are not available in Spanish, or created with our communities in mind. And this is something that I always said, because it's something that it's kind of my mission to fight this, to create something in Spanish, because most of the educational resources in climate education or in science are created in English, because it's the in the this is the universal language. And I know that because it's important, because everything is created in English. But I saw that we had this problem, and to tackle all of these gaps and in these issues, I met my co-founders in youth-led in youth organizations, and we kind of had this idea. It's more it's a long story, but we kind of share this mission to kind of tackle this lack of educational resources in Spanish. So we shared this mission, and we said, okay, let's start to create educational resources of marine science, of climate change in Spanish. And to tackle all of this gap and these issues, we created this hybrid educational model, sorry, that combine in-person programs, because we teach marine education and sustainability in our community and in our educational center in the Ecuadorian coast, in a community called San Jacinto. But we also uh, have digital learning in a platform to engage students from across Latin America. What else? Yes, we started at the end of 2022, but we started officially in the middle of 2023, so it has been 2 years. And yeah, until now we have trained more than 5,000 people, and most of our students are women. And that's something that it's part of our mission uh, to have to expand our mission through equity, accessibility, and with community-based projects. And also, it's also economically accessible because in Ecuador and in Latin America, we have a lot of problems, but economic and infrastructure are one of the biggest barriers. And this is something that we have in mind because economy is like this huge barrier to access quality education. Also, affordability is a key part of our mission. Like I said before, our main target audience are young people, but to put you in context, are university students and young professionals. And what is important is when they finish our courses, our online certificates endorsed by our partnerships, because partnerships are very important. And we have partnerships with top universities. For instance, with the Catholic University of Ecuador, that is one of the most important leading institutions in my country, and also with international organizations that back our mission, our curriculum. These partnerships are important because they help us to scale, to gain trust with our students, and also to validate what our students are learning with us throughout these years. Yes, I could talk about my project a lot,
That's
but
really
that's
amazing.
basically what we are doing.
Great. And how big is the curriculum that you've put together? And like, so how much time did it take? And do you have plans to grow and expand or ideas in new directions that you want to take it?
It's we focus on three areas basically in marine science, sustainability, digital skills. Those are like the three main things that we do. We work closely with our students because it's a grassroots project. Yes, now we kind of evolving into a youth-led organization, and now we are like a social enterprise because we are getting more students and more followers and all of that, and we are growing every day. So what is important is that we kind of have this community-led organization. But what is important is that many of our students came from non-coastal areas, like I said, and from most of them, we have this. It's like the very first experience for them to learn about ocean conservations. This is the very first time that they see a mangrove or a sea turtle nest. That was very important because we kind of connect them to this conservation work. And also we are kind of moving into these initiatives and kind of perfectionate this hybrid model and creating more and more educational resources, and also to connect the reality of the coastal and inland communities, and also to attract and also to engage more people from Ecuador and from Latin America to see that we are doing something great in my country.
So cool. How well do you get to know the students that learn with you? And do you see like where they go on to? Because you said that this is sometimes their first experience of the ocean.
Yes, most of the time they send us like these cool videos on Instagrams, and we publish them in our channels. And it's very nice because we see how they are involved in all of these on these experiences. Like I said, one of the activities that we do is that they go to help restore a mangrove area. So they like knowing that the mangroves in the coast are deeply destroyed and how they are so important. And I think when we help our students to understand the importance of ocean conservation and even climate action, we kind of uh, uh, do something in them to, I mean, just to think about how important it is to understand the role of the ocean in terms of the food system, on climate regulation, on tourism, on everything. And yeah, and I think I love to see how they connect with us in terms of how we bring this program into their reality. And also, it's 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 different when we are doing the online courses, but in the in-person training, we also do this kind of involvement with the local community. That is also great because they are able to see how the fishermen work and all of that. And it's important to kind of see these initiatives and how our students develop in this 3-day course. Yeah, and how they gain this knowledge in marine biology and sustainability and on other ocean related topics, whether online or in person, because it's very different how you train students online and in person. It's very different, but because it's kind of different to track the students online. But in person is the interaction and how you relate with your students is whole different thing because you spend a lot of time with them, you share the 3 meal with them, breakfast and lunch and all of that. And with online, we kind of we do these post surveys to see how they interact with us and also if they are doing some projects later and yeah and to see how how they how they evolve with what they are doing with our courses.
Amazing. And so you're working in this area of ocean literacy. So have you really noticed how it's changed in terms of people's awareness and people's engagement? For me, it seems like it's just exploded over the last few years and people are really engaging with it, but it might just be the areas that I'm in, you know? I wonder if you have a bit of a different perspective or you see that it's also really growing, or there's still other people that don't really know what ocean literacy is.
Yeah, I think it's different because if we talk about the in South America in general, I think that the natural science, like the in general, is I think it's still considered a niche, and even to even get jobs as a biologist, as an environmental engineer, and all of that, it's a challenge. And if we talk about ocean literacy, it's like a lot of people don't even know the the concept. Yeah, so it's like an evolving subject, that is growing and growing, but we need to do a lot of work to kind of to people to understand the role of the ocean and all of that. In climate education in general, we are kind of not behind, but yes, behind, but it's it's totally different than if we compare in Europe. And it's not about a language barrier, but also infrastructure and technology. Yes. So it's not that we don't have the talent here, the professionals, but most of them kind of leave the country. Yes, because it's kind of difficult to get jobs here. And also it's like it's very the accessibility and a lot of the educational resources here are very expensive. I noticed that in Ecuador that we have this area that a lot of people that don't live near the ocean kind of feel disconnected. So that's another area that we need to work to, and they feel disconnected. But the truth is that we need to that if we don't see the ocean every day, it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us, you know. And the ocean is I mean, everybody knows that the ocean is the heart of our planet and all of that. No, not that everybody knows that, but I think that people don't perceive that we live in the blue planet. To tackle all of these challenges, we have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
But it's amazing that you're also working with local communities because there must be so much knowledge already there.
We started academia also to create opportunities to improve the lives of our communities, if I could say that. That's why we work in this community in San Jacinto, that is a small coastal town in the northwest part of Ecuador. And here we build our educational center. But if it's not possible if we don't work with the community, because in the small coastal towns or if you work in the field, you need to work with the community closely. In our case, we work with an association called Virgin of Guadalupe, that the translation, and this group reunites restaurant owners, fishermen, and tourist agencies, and we work with them because it's important for us to also kind of to boost our their economy, if I could say that. Yeah, when we do our educational activities there, and it's important to to promote of the community, and we reach an agreement with them to share the space of the educational center, and also to when we have these courses also to that they help us to with the meals, with our students, with all of them. And these activities generate an economic boost in the area, and because there are families there, you know, and also we are developing conservation practices too, and inside the community. And it's important that I mentioned that, because when you work with local communities or grassroots projects, we need to have a partnership with local associations and work with these local groups, because most of the time they are very organized and they work in most of the of the coastal areas. There are a lot of restaurants at the beach, especially in Latin America. It's very common. In Europe, you don't see that because there are a lot of private areas. But in Latin America, if you go to a beach, there are a lot of restaurants, that are from the community. So it's we kind of trying to interact with them and also to engage with them and to see if and work with them very closely and also to show them that we are doing something to improve their lives and also that we are working with
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing about that, Jose. And my last question is just how can we support your work? How can we partner with you or learn more about your work? Like, how can we find you? What's the best way?
support my work. That's a nice question. um, yeah, like I said, we are evolving into from a youth project from a group of friends into a social enterprise. We need a lot of help. So because we are just four people, and it took a lot of work to expand our mission. And now we are preparing to launch a volunteer program different areas of our work, and we also wanted to look for teachers and professionals who wanted to share their knowledge in marine biology and sustainability and other ocean related topics, whether online and in person. Because our dream, and my dream also, is that academia into Océano could be this hub of research, of education, and also to volunteer programs. And we are on the road to build this. And also we are developing new educational resources on marine mammals, sea turtles, and also we work on mangroves. And yeah, we are doing a lot of things right now. And I don't know if you're passionate about mission education, we love to connect. Whether if you like to create content or you like to bring your programs to new communities, feel free to DM me and to support our efforts to scale because it's important that ocean literacy and especially in the global south in South America and even in Ecuador to be more inclusive and to be more action orientated. And I think that if we want to protect biodiversity, we need to have diversity, diversity of minds, of backgrounds, of experiences, of geography. And it's like the rich part of when you are like an entrepreneur or you are building something that you have this amazing diversity of people of mind. Yeah, and that's something that I experienced in the UN conference. It was so good to see people from such diverse backgrounds and stories. It was so great. Yeah, and thanks for having me.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
your
much.
invitation, Natalie.
Thank you so much, Jose.